Hey everybody, Vinny SOB here. Somebody requested I do another Wreckfest video. There was a big December update. As you can tell right off the bat, there's music. That's something pretty unique to this update. I'm gonna hit enter here and move along. It's not recognizing my controller for some reason. But let me get into options because this music's kind of loud. Alright, let's do that. So, what we have here is a big update, which is actually very cool, but nothing to get your hopes up over yet. I mean, it's still far from anything I would spend money on if you don't already have it. As you can see, one of the big improvements is the UI. I mean, this user interface is much better. If you're using a wheel or controller, or it's absolutely seamless. So it's very nice. And you'll also see they added a career mode. Now you can go over to the store page for Wreckfest, next Car Game Wreckfest, and they'll list all the changes they've made. They've made some minor changes. But the most significant thing, is, of course, is UI, career mode, and they've added some new HUD elements as well, and there are even some new physics. Now, I've already liked the car physics, but they did add some new physics, so it feels like the car is really rolling more on the suspension. It's actually pretty cool. But if you look here, it's the new UI. You have your cars, which you had before, which was your garage. You can tune them now, which quick tunes, basically soft, standard, or stiff suspension, your gearing. These are just like real, quick tunings for like dirt races. You want to put it on the softer suspension, tarmac, go to the tighter suspension. You can go to the market. They added 8 new cars, and they do have 2 front-wheel drive cars now. But if you look, it's still pretty limited. So what do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15, 16, 17, 18. So you have 18, 19 cars. It's not a whole lot of cars. Especially, there's 20 cars I think total, because the one I own is not showing here. In fact, I own 2. So there's 21. Oh no, they do. It's just a killer BS. Okay, because some of these are duplicates of other cars, like improved versions. But you can see they have statistics now on the side. It shows the green bar shows where something else is better. It's almost kind of backwards, because the current car I have, it's showing the green bar up. It should be red, showing that my car is worse than the car I'm looking at. But they kind of did that backwards. If you look, the strength is red on the Rammer, which is the car I have that I'm on, and it shows red for strength. That's because, but my car actually has strength all the way up to the end of the red. The car I'm looking at, the Super Sunrise down there, has the strength way down. So, yeah, it seems a little backwards to me. But either way, not a whole lot of cars, right? You do have assembly with the parts. Now, there was a hell of a lot more when I was using the mods, and there's a lot more cars if you use the mods. Now, I was trying to use the mods with this initially, and I kept getting fatal errors and crashes. I just deleted the game entirely, re-downloaded it, so I lost all the cool stuff that was in there. The way it works now is basically through the career mode. You start off with stock everything. As you use the car, you go up in level with that car, sort of like Battlefield does. So if you use a medic, you go up in rank on that medic class. You can use your war bonds or whatever to buy more guns as you go up in level, and certain more guns unlock as you go up in level with that particular class. Same thing here. So I've won a couple of races with this car. I went from being able to use stock manifold to now use street manifold, but I can't buy sport or racing because I haven't gone up in level with the car enough yet. So I'm not really sure I like that mechanic, but we'll see. Anyway, then there's customize, so you can put your little parts on there, which they won't let you put parts on any of these cars either that you start with. So I don't even know why this is even in the game at this point, because you can't use it. Paint shop. That's something new. Okay, so paint shop. You either have design or you have no decals. But if you look at the top, you have paint colors. You can like change the color of the car. You know, you can change the design a little bit here. There, look at that. Not a whole lot, right? And then you can just change the colors. So, you know, it's, I guess, better than it used to be because you have more options for colors. Look, so here's the design one that I had. And you can go through and adjust the colors, whatever. And there's a few different designs too. But basically the same thing that you had before, without the decals. So, yeah, you know, I guess it's kind of cool. I guess that's what the car looked like initially. So, yeah, I mean, they've added some stuff, right? And then settings and mods. But, so you still have your custom events, which is just like quick race. You could select your car, your options, difficulty. They did actually add a new clutch mechanic for the stick shift. I don't really know how to use it yet. I tried using it, ended up hurting my transmission. But you see they do have more tracks finished at this point. There's still a bunch under construction. And you look now, if you click on these, it'll give you different options within some of these, right? So, you know, that's pretty cool. So what we'll do real quick, just because I want to show you the career mode, and multiplayer's still there. So here's the new career mode. This is like the big to-do, right? You have basically two. The rest I'll say coming soon. You have regional juniors and national amateurs, which it looks like you can unlock. So it's a very lifeless checklist style career, basically. You go in, there's 4 races, all right? So appetite for destruction, let's click on it. You do some races, and it's done by the day. So it doesn't like tally up your points like a sprint cup or anything like that. You either win the race or you don't, and you get your money. See, when you look at standings, maybe this one will be different, but normally when you look at standings, it's not giving you like anything. So this is a demo derby. Let's do it. But you can see they added music too. This was another thing. Now this is adding music to these load screens and menu screens and stuff. This isn't one of the better songs. There's actually some pretty cool rock songs and stuff. Some metal and some other crap. But it added some life to the game. But as it stands, by them showing some life in the game with adding music and stuff, it shows how lifeless the rest of the game really is. So, and what I mean by that is, there's no crowd noise, there's no announcers in any of these venues, there's no like mechanic in between races saying, hey, you broke your suspension, we need to fix that. Also, after an event, you don't have to spend money for repairs, which I don't understand. But we'll get started. Let's see. Got it on hard. I guess I'll leave everything in the middle. We'll just start the race. Still have your classic views that it had before. And now if you look, the UI is different. The attack is much bigger. And you'll look, the car little diagram thing is different. Down in the bottom left. And it also has symbols. Like you have a suspension symbol, a motor, a transmission, and I don't know what the bottom one is. I don't remember. But, so that's pretty cool. So they have, you know, fixed the UI and the HUD. Both very cool things. Now, and it gives you like, I'm down to 77% health right now. You also get a nemesis now, which I don't really understand for the most part, because it seems like I bump somebody and they're not a nemesis, and then someone will bump me in the ass and they're suddenly my nemesis. And then that person will like go after you. In this race it won't matter much, but like there's my nemesis, the guy in red, right? He's supposed to hate me. Take that, bitch. Now I also noticed, because there's no mods or anything, there's far less car designs. They're like, you have basically 2 different types of car only. And I have motor damage. And you'll notice it'll say across the top, like, hey, you have damage to your motor or whatever. However, and you get these points for doing things like shunts. I got points for that, or rear ending, or what have you. And the problem is, like, I've blown my radiator, but there's like no urgency or anything. It's not like, hey, you've blown your radiator, you know, and there's your car is actually gonna, like, if your motor's gonna seize and, oh, the guy, look at rear left wheel bent. That, you know, it's pretty cool. It's saying that. Where is it at? But it's not like, you know, like I said, when I've blown my radiator, it's not like, oh, 3 laps later, or my car's like, you know, my car seizes or blows up. I mean, if they had that kind of sense of urgency where it had major damage would come from it, like your engine's gonna seize because your radiator's blown, then that would be like cool. Like, oh shit, I've only got 3 laps, I better make this count, or something like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I guess it's all a step in the right direction. Got him. This stuff's all a step in the right direction. But really, they've got a long way to go. And there should be like 100 cars, man. And unless they're literally just looking to the modders to put all the skins on cars and do stuff, and they're just giving a platform, missed them. Then they really need to get busy on making a shit ton more cars and stuff. Oh, look at that, a double kill. Oh, I'm gonna kill myself on the wall. But it is fun. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think it's anything to write home about at this point. Yes, it's UI improvements, suspension improvements, paint shop, I guess, improvements, and UI improvements. Yeah, lots of improvements. But is the game worth $40 in this state? I guess if you have a bunch of buddies that want to do demo derbies or races with you, then yeah, I can see maybe doing it, but otherwise, nah, not really. Because really it's not much of a career mode. So there we go. Here, let's look at standings. Oh, I went to a semi-final. Alright, round 2 of 3. Notice my car, didn't have to repair it, no money spent on it, anything like that. I'm not even going to bother with it, but that's it. Let's see, standings. See, 0 points. Well, maybe you have to finish all 3. But like I said, normally when I finish these other things in standings, it didn't like award you points at the end, like, oh, you're in first place or anything. And if you look, all the cars are the same. It's either El Matador or the Rammer. So, yeah, and it's pretty lifeless. The most lively part of it are these menus with music. So, yeah, nice improvements, I guess, overall. Worth buying at this point? Hell no. Do not spend $40 on this unless you have, like, several friends that want to get in demo derbies with you. And honestly, I haven't really been screwed with the online, so I can't even tell you how it actually works, because I don't know if you can go in there with, if you set up a room of 24 and then you and your buddy go in, if you can just lock it out and have the rest filled out with let's just see, maybe figure 8 laps. Where do I put? Just do big stadium, figure 8. Options. Still do team race, elimination, sprint. Okay, so this is all the same. Max players 24. Class restriction, huh? And I wish, another thing is, I wish they could allow for car reset off on the regular races when I'm playing in the season. I'd rather if I flip on my side or on the top, I'm out of the race, instead of sitting there and hitting reset and unrealistically having my car just, you know, whatever. There we go. Is there a way to lock this? I just want to see if it'll fill it in with bots, really. Because if not, because it looked like there was a lot of rooms with no one in them that people created. Alright. Alright, so I'm guessing it doesn't fill in with bots. Which would be cool. Because a lot of these rooms look like they only have several people in them. I would like to have a full field of, at least, 12 or 16 people on a track this small, maybe. Minimum. And really rather have the 24. So, yeah. No bots. At least. Let me see. Nah, that's not it. Yeah. And again, like the crowd should cheer or ooh and ah or boo or a big wreck. This should be like, whoa, something. Have an announcer. They could really add a lot of life to the game. And really, this career mode, it's like I said, it's just like just doing races. There's nothing like, special great. And it's, so anyway, they start you off with this piece of shit little car that they're showing right there, that Hornet or whatever it's called. And then after you did a couple of races, they unlocked the green car I'm using right now. It was free. It was like, here you go. We give you this. So you could start the next events. Then I'm guessing when I finish that, they're going to give me something else for the different series. And that's how it's going to work. And then I can buy better cars. But and the other thing is, with even 20 cars, they're set up into classes. So you might only have like 4 in each class. So it doesn't really leave you a lot of, it doesn't really leave you a lot as far as, like, let's look here. There's probably a lot of, and granted, you can upgrade them with parts and maybe get them from a C to a B or whatever. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7, 8 C cars, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 B cars. So 5 B cars, 3 A, another B. So like whatever. There's like 6 or 7 cars total in those different series. But yeah, but there you have it. I'm not. I would hope, if nothing else, that I'm just giving an honest opinion of it. It's a cool game. It has tons of potential. At this point, there's just not a whole lot to it. You could do some quick races. If you have buddies, you can fill a room. Yeah, hey, cool, maybe. The career is, you just might as well just do quick races. There's not much of a difference. I actually enjoyed it playing it more before there was a career, when I was doing quick races and I had all the mods on, so I could earn money and then go, and I had a shit ton of cars to pick from that are modded. And I had, which I could probably maybe add to this. I'm assuming it'll work with mods, but I'm not for sure at this point. But and then all the modded parts, like all the different engines and all the different, just the parts all the modders made. This finished game should have every single thing those modders made at a minimum, and then another 20% more beyond that. So, because it would get old real quick if you only got like 4 options per, 1 engine option, and then 4, so you have regular, street, race, and whatever the other thing is. So you have 4 parts in each category, and that's going to get pretty boring pretty quick. So, but yeah, so that's my take on it. Yeah, nice improvements in the UI. Like I said, it's much smoother now with a controller, for example. Bumpers work, your controller moves it around. Nice improvements in the HUD. I like how they show the individual pieces that can be broken. Although there's no real sense of urgency with it. It doesn't seem to, unless you blow a tire, lose a tire or something, it doesn't really seem to affect the car. Customizing, it seems like it's actually worse at this point. Unless maybe if you go spend money on, in fact, let's just do it. Let's just try it, because I don't want to say customizing is worse. Just buy this thing. Alright, so I'm proud owner of this thing. No, damn it. And let's go to tune. Or not tune, I'm sorry. God bless it. I keep hitting the wrong button. Assembly. Yeah. See, I'm only a level 3 person, so I can only unlock street. 2 horsepower. Alright, so and that's going to be the same with all this stuff. I can unlock level 2 stuff. So when you get to like level 5, like I watched some dude's video today. Apparently he's a huge fanboy and he plays it all the time, which is cool. It's not, you know, he's got buddies that play it, and that's cool. And he puts up videos of it all the time, and I don't remember his name. Isn't that a cool vid, whatever? He was super pumped and excited over this. And I looked up, and he's like, it was like a rank 15 or 20, and he had like 50 grand. He must have been dumping hours into this. It just came out. Like, how much time could you have possibly spent on this? It just came out a day ago. But you would think at 15 you can unlock all the shit. What's there really left to do? Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot in the game right now. So let's see what I could do. Paint shop. No. God bless it. Why does it keep doing that? My cars. Alright. So this is a Class 8. This is the same car I had built before. I don't know why when I'm hitting B to go back, it's taking me to exit game. It doesn't make sense to me. So let's go to paint shop. Design 1. This is the one I had on the car before, the 700, except it didn't say tram law. And there's just the standard black and white. Alright. There's exactly the one I had. Yeah. So, whatever. Got some paint schemes. Let's see if it has... No, I don't want to exit, stupid ass thing. So there's no decals. And let's see what we have for livery designs. Okay. Then you just change the colors. Alright. Yeah, so that's pretty cool, right? Alright. Tap B for back. No, I don't want to exit. Customize. Let's see if I can customize this thing. See, now I bought this car. It wasn't a car that they gave me, so I can install stuff on it. So that's actually pretty cool. It would be nice. Let me see if it lets you do it. Yeah, so it lets you look at it too, so that's pretty cool. Cancel. But there you have it. As I said, at this point, kind of cool improvements. Really not worth buying at this point unless you have a bunch of buddies playing, or you're just like some huge fan of doing demo derbies over and over and over again. There's not really a whole lot to unlock or a whole lot to do other than do the races. But it is definitely a step in the right direction, and adding the music brought a little life to the game. So yeah, it's unfortunate it's 6 months before updates. Last one was like in June or July or something. So if they're doing one every 6 months, which is, I guess, like a major update, it's kind of what it seems like. You know, within another 2-3 years, they might actually have a beta. So, so there you go. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, you know, leave them below. And again, it is cool. It's just, for 40 bucks, it is not really worth 40 bucks at this point, unless you're like a die-hard of this and you have tons of buddies that want to play this with you. So, all right, thanks. See you in the next one.